Bryan Thrift here with Bass University, and I'm going to tell you what I really love about frog fishing. To me, frog fishing is one of the funnest things you can do anywhere in the country that largemouth bass live. It's just the best bite you can possibly get on. I love fishing grass, I fish docks with it, I throw it absolutely everywhere, and you just get these amazing blow-ups when the fish are on this type of bite. You know, it's a big bait, and unlike other topwater baits that bass come up and they'll kind of slurp or roll on, you know, when these largemouth hit a frog, they try to kill it. They absolutely crush it, so it's the most vicious topwater bite you can possibly get. It's one of my favorite things about it. And as far as fishing a frog, to me, there's no wrong time to fish it, provided you've got water temps that are in the upper 50s or hotter. From like early spawn all the way through the fall, when the lake's water starts cooling back down, you can catch fish on a frog. My rule of thumb is, once those fish start moving up shallow, getting ready to think about spawning, that's when I'm going to pick up my frog for the first time, for the first frog bite of the year. And where I'm at around the southeast, you know, that could be anywhere from mid-March to early April and last all the way through November. So really, water temp is the only thing I use to determine when it's time to throw my frog. So going back on that, as far as frog styles, I typically throw two different styles. I want a moving frog, what I call, which is, I've got an example of that right here, the Demiki air frog. This has got kicking legs, so this is a bait that I'm gonna use a steady wind, just buzzing it across the top of the water, a buzzing toad with the air frog, and then a hollow body frog that I use when I fish more target specific things like fishing trees and bushes and things like that. So we're going to get into some frog fishing. I'll go through my setups, what I use, my line, my reel, my rod, and talk about hooks and rigging and everything. So stay tuned. This is going to be an awesome deal on frog fishing. All right, when it comes to buzzing frogs, like I said, my favorite is the Demiki air frog, and there's three main colors I go with. I want different contrasts. I want a black frog, a white frog, and I want some type of bluegill colored frog for when fish get on brim beds. And I let the water clarity and the light, you know, if it's a cloudy day versus a sunny day, determine which frog I throw. If I've got cloudy conditions that are really overcast, dark skies, I go with the black frog more. And when it's sunny, I go more with a white frog. And then when I'm fishing shallow and I see bluegill up around boat docks, there's brim beds, there's brim up in the grass popping, that's when I go to a more of a natural brown looking frog, something that's gonna look kind of more brim-like. So those are the three colors that I use, and you know, that'll cover you in any situation you come across when you're talking about a buzzing frog with a Demiki air frog. And I have seen situations where they will bite one color way better than others. I mean, I've got one great example. I was at Clear Lake filming with Demiki one time. We had three guys in the boat, and all three of us were throwing the air frog, and we were throwing these three colors. I was in the front throwing the brown frog. My buddy Daniel was in the back throwing, or in the middle throwing a white frog, and another guy, Corey, was in the back throwing a black frog. And he was wearing us out making the exact same cast with a black frog on an overcast day. So that's something to keep in mind. You know, if you feel like these fish should be biting a frog somewhere, try different colors, because odds are you're real close to figuring it out, and just a simple color change can make the difference in missing fish blowing up and missing it, or getting a lot more bites throughout the course of the day. So that's my three choices on a buzzing frog. You can see the different contrasts of black, white, and a bluegill color, and as I said, that'll cover you in any situation you come across. And as far as the traditional hollow body style frogs, I've got my whole frog box here, pretty much the same concept, except I substitute a black frog for this kind of reddish looking frog. I don't know why. I think that's just what I started out, and like the very first frog fish I ever caught was on this color, and it just kind of stuck with me. But you can see I go from contrast, kind of a darker color. I've got bluegill colored, and I've got shad colored, which are, you know, white bottoms and things like that. And that will cover you on every situation you come across, whether it's fishing docks, fishing, you know, rock, wood, whatever you come across, those three colors will imitate what those fish are feeding on in some form. You just got to put the time in to figure out which one's going to be best on a particular day. And as I said earlier, a good starting point, if you've got cloudy, overcast conditions, start with a darker colored frog. You've got lighter conditions, go with a lighter colored frog, even to something kind of translucent like
It's Mike Iaconelli. This is Bass U TV.
Here's what's awesome about Bass U TV.
You get the top instructors.
Real tools that help you catch more fish consistently.
And that's why you want to check out Bass U TV.
Join the Bass U family.
Welcome to Bass U TV.